Alistair from Glasgow, Scotland. Who was the better champion, Kofi Kingston or Big E? Also, do you think both of them should have had longer runs with the belt? Kofi Kingston was WWE champion for 6 months. He never headlined a single pay-per-view as champion during those 6 months, which tells you all you need to know about how they treated that run. But he still had more time as champion than Big E did, and not only did he have the title longer, he was protected far more than Big E ever was. He lost very few times on television when Kofi was the champion. You know, and he beat a bunch of people. He beat Daniel Bryan. He beat Kevin Owens. He beat Dolph Ziggler. He beat Sami Zayn. He beat Samoa Joe. He beat Randy Orton. He beat AJ Styles. He actually beat a lot of people. So you can't say that they did not at least attempt to make him look credible as champion. Kofi had the stronger run of the two, to answer your question. Kofi had the better run. But neither run was very good. Big E's was worse. But neither one was very good. They both lost their titles to Brock Lesnar. Lesnar was a menace that year, booking-wise, coming in at the very end and winning the Money in the Bank briefcase after doing nothing, and then beating Kofi in 8 seconds to win the title. He was a menace that year. I wasn't surprised that he lost. Talking about Kofi now. I was not surprised that he lost. I was surprised at how he lost. He should have put up more of a fight. And I said this when he lost it. This was the main point that I made when Kofi Kingston lost his championship back in 2019. It made all of those people, that list of names I just read off to you, all of those people that did the honors for him and put him over in those 6 months to make him look strong and credible as champion. It made all the work that those guys put in, made them all look like jabrones. From Daniel Bryan to Randy Orton to AJ Styles and everybody in between. Because Kofi could not get one lick of offense in. And after 6 months, it was one and done in less than 10 seconds. So that was terrible. Kofi's run wasn't great, but he fared much better than Big E did. Right from the moment he won it, he had a great story leading up to it. Right? And then the moment at WrestleMania, it was this big emotional thing on the biggest possible stage. Big E's reign started off on the wrong foot with a random Money in the Bank cash-in on TV. Having a babyface cash in on the heel after the heel just got done wrestling and was teasing a leg injury is not a great way to start a title reign. See Liv Morgan and Ronda Rousey last year as another example. He did not have one interesting feud. Big E did not have a single interesting feud during his time as champion. The program he had with Drew McIntyre was boring. He lost to Roman Reigns. 3 times he lost to Roman Reigns. Everybody has lost to Roman Reigns, but he lost to Roman Reigns 3 times in a very short period of time. It wasn't just Survivor Series that he lost to Roman. He lost to Roman twice in one night on the same show. The Bloodline beat the New Day to open the show, and then Roman beat Big E and Bobby Lashley later that same night to close out the show. And then we got to day 1, and you know what happened there. He lost the belt to Brock Lesnar. 3 months, and that was it. And I told you at the time, Big E will not make it to WrestleMania as the champion. And he lost it even earlier than I expected. I figured he would drop it at the Royal Rumble. Maybe if Roman had not gotten popped for COVID, he would have. All that did was speed up the inevitable. Kofi's run was better than Big E's. I don't think Kofi should have had a longer run. His run was longer than I expected it to be. 6 months was just enough. It's the way that he lost that made me shake my head. Big E was just a victim of bad booking. Bad booking and a lack of opponents. He went right to Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns. That was never going to end well for him. It just felt like there was a whole middle part that was missing. And that's what happens when you haphazardly send him out there to cash in without having any real plans for what to do with him after that. Let's just send him out there and have him cash in and we'll figure it out on the fly. There's no way that was the plan. They had this whole plan mapped out for Big E as the WWE champion. They didn't. And it looked that way. And Jordan from Hatboro, Pennsylvania. Subject line is, if the Elimination Chamber existed before 2002. It did, by the way. It was called War Games. But anyway, he says, strictly a fantasy booking question, but one that I've thought of plenty over the years when playing WWE video games. If you could see one Elimination Chamber match happen from any era of your choosing before Ruthless Aggression, what era or year would you choose, and who would you want to see in the match? And he said, me personally, I would have loved to have seen Hogan, Bret Hart, Yokozuna, Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, and Razor Ramon in the spring of 1993. See, I don't think Elimination Chamber works as a concept for that era as well as it does the Attitude Era. Now, I'm thinking if you expanded it to WCW, I think that there were enough people on that WCW roster in like 92, 93, Sting and Vader and Rude and Cactus Jack and people like that. That could have been a very interesting Elimination Chamber match. But if we're talking WWE, I would say Attitude Era, 1998 to 2001. I would want to see Stone Cold, The Rock, Triple H, Undertaker, Kane, and Mankind. Closest thing we got was that 6-man Hell in a Cell in 2000 that had Kurt Angle and Rikishi in it. But I think if I had to pick an era, I think that era works the best for a match like that, and those are the 6 guys I would have wanted to see in it.